is the Fade 5 Podcast with Brad Evans and Nate Lundy.
Waste your bets, you jackwagons. Brad the Big Noise Evans here, joined by the good sir, Nathaniel Lundy. 'Tis indeed the Fade 5 Podcast presented by Suavecito Tequila. Go to Total Wine and More tonight, and pick up a bottle of the Love Juice Añejo. Por favor, pour it neat. Sit back, relax, and sip as we watch the Sweet 16, which gets underway tonight. But we are previewing tomorrow. If you're wanting some action on tonight's games, go back through our archives to the whole yesterday and listen to the show that we taped then. We have picks in every single game and ignore some of the selections we made last night. But thankfully, the NIT was not dirty and nasty to me as I actually cashed a winning ticket on that two-leg parlay. So thank you, especially Utah Valley. I watched every single second of that game, and it was exciting. What a great atmosphere there. South of Provo. I had no idea where Utah Valley was, but the crowd certainly showed up. And Lundy, there are going to be crowds filling the rafters tonight. It is Sweet 16 time, and again, we're going to be focused today on the Friday games. And give me one of the teams we're going to see in action in the session that takes place tomorrow night on the futures market. Anybody tickle your pickle, my friend? Give me your favorite.
First of all, nobody's tickling my pickle right now. It's really early in the morning. That normally, that's kind of a like afternoon delight. Like it's one of those kind of things. Yeah. So no pickle tickling taking place early in the morning. Brad, I actually doubled down on a bet earlier this week. So I'll throw this out from a Friday standpoint. It's down just slightly. I was impressed that I could still get Bama at plus 350. Yep. It is down to plus 340 at DraftKings, just FYI. But the fact that you're still looking at better than 3-1 odds on the overall number one seed. And remember, as you look at things within the bracket right now, they should be able to beat San Diego State coming up on Friday night. Okay. They should be able to take care of business against the Aztecs. I think, frankly, the Aztecs have overperformed. But then you got to go through either Creighton or Princeton. And I don't want to disparage either of those teams, but that's a win for Bama, which means you're on into the Final Four and you're still looking at better than 3-1 odds on a team that has been spectacular. So I really like that you can get that. I also know how you feel about the Huskies, and they've got even better odds.
Yeah, they do. And I love the Huskies quite a bit. They're going to be in action on Thursday night. So hopefully, if you're listening to this, they have survived in advance, and that ticket is still alive and kicking. But I'm with you on Alabama, man. I got them right before the tournament at plus 900 to take the whole enchilada there in H-Town. And I'm a bit miffed. I'm a bit surprised as well that it's still plus 340. In that futures market to win the national title at DraftKings. You know, you look at the team, they are top 3 in the country for the last 30 days in EFG defense. Now, they struggle a little bit by their highest standard offensively, number 201, which is rather miserable for the Tide, in EFG offense over the last 30 days. But, you know, Brandon Miller, he already had that anomaly in round number 1 and opened up a donut shop against Texas A&M Corpus Christi, turned around in the second round matchup, scoring 19, and really didn't shoot the ball all that well. And they're still obliterating fools. And Javon Quinterly has really shot the ball extraordinarily well. So given their controlled chaos style, which is so unique, and their defensive acumen, if they just arrive offensively, they're going to blow the doors off the competition. And I think hoist the hardware there in the end. So you and I, symbiotic, on the same page. We say roll Tide at plus 340 while there's still some decent value on the board. With that pick already on the board, let's get after it with another edition of the Fade 5.
Number 5.
All right, numero 5 in the Friday night matchups in the Sweet 16. I'm going to start off with a team total over, and this may shock some people. I'm going to take San Diego State, those Aztecs, over 64.5 points against the aforementioned Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, the juice a little bit higher on this, minus 125 at DraftKings, but I am willing to slap the wallet and pay it. The San Diego State team, a little bit better than you think across the board. Yes, we know them for their outstanding stalwart defense, number 11 EFG defense over the last 30 days, but they are also number 11 overall, according to Bart Torvik and the advanced efficiency numbers, though number 263 in EFG offense. But this is a team that is a little bit faster than previous versions of the Aztecs that we have seen. I think they're willing to run with Alabama, and I just love Matt Bradley's game. The transfer from Cal gets buckets. Mensa inside, nice little inside-outside duo. They have some good complementary weapons as well. Bama, as I mentioned, number 3 in EFG defense, and really get after it on the offensive glass, generating a second chance 37% of the time over the last 30 days. But it's all about revving that engine. Number 39 in adjusted tempo. And I think the speed of the game, San Diego State will feel comfortable playing at, though they would prefer it at a half-court setting. This one's going to be a sweat session, no question about it. So make sure you have a handy towel nearby, as you're going to have to beat and, tap on the brow to wipe off the perspiration. But I believe Dutcher's Club and San Diego State gets to at least 65 points, and that's why I'm on this over 64.5 points minus 125 at DraftKings. Lundy and my bananas. Fade or follow.
Bananas. I think you're a little bit bananas, but I don't mind the idea of sweating this one out because, look, I took the over in this game earlier this week when it was at 134.5. It's now up to 137, and I still would play the over in this game. But I got lucky. I snagged it at 134.5 right when it came out earlier this week. So I like the over in the contest, which means you could correlate and take this one at the over 64.5. I do think you're going to have to sweat it out just a little bit. I think you're going to have to hope for maybe a desperation 3 or 2 in the last couple of minutes, but I think that could push the Aztecs up over this number. I think this is a solid bet. The juice is not too bad at this point. The minus 125, I can live with that.
All right, San Diego State, please hit the over, especially you, Adam Seiko. Nail one of those threes.
Number 4.
All right, new more Quattro here on the Fade 5 today. Let's do an SGP/OGP, and come with me on this wager if you like it. I'm going to take the Creighton Blue Jays minus 6.5, taking that spread down, and I'm also going to take the total down, or up, on 148.5, and take the under against the Cinderella story, the Ivy Leaguers there, the future Czech Riders of the world, and the Princeton Tigers. The juice on that, plus 105, available at DraftKings Sportsbook. Creighton, I wrote about them on Valley Sports. I thought they were a Final Four dark horse, and they're living up to that expectation right now, getting very close to Houston. And you look at them statistically in their last 8 games, number 45 in the country, an EFG offense setting 54.1% inside the arc and over 37% outside of it. Number 81 in EFG defense, allowing 47.8% inside the arc and 32.1% from distance. A very good rebounding team because of a certain 7-footer named Ryan Kalkbrenner, and a team that is comfortable playing various tempos and speeds. They are number 117 adjusted tempo over the last 30 days. You look at Princeton, Brandon, their Princeton style that they are known for, a lot of backdoor cuts. They're more of a kind of a middling Big Ten team in the way that they execute. They're more physical and a team that shoots decently from outside. But you look here over the last 6 games, number 237 EFG offense, but number 29 in EFG defense. They minimize the turnovers and pretty good on the glass as well. So, I don't think it's going to be a trouncing and rebounding with Ryan Kalkbrenner, though you feed him kind of like Zach Edey, Purdue, a guy that can call his own number, kiss it off the glass, or kick it outside to a Nimhard, to an Alexander, to a Baylor Shireman, and those guys can splash some triples as a result. I love Creighton. I know they're not deep, but they're a balanced team. They're a better team, and the pumpkin carriage is about to arrive for Princeton. So as a result, Creighton minus 6.5 on that alt spread and an alt total of 148.5, and take the under. Put those two together on an OGP/SGP at DraftKings plus 105. Lundy, fade or follow.
Okay, hang on. Hold on. hold on a minute. We're doing something on the fly. Just
I like it.
Talk amongst yourselves for just a minute here. We got hang on. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay. I wanted to do the same concept, Brad, but I want to play a little bit because I am more confident in the total than I am in the spread here. As good as I think Creighton is, I think Princeton's playing on house money and they don't give a shit. And so I think this game could be close. So I'm going to give you the exact same payday with two different numbers. Okay. This is still at DraftKings. This is still a plus 105. I took Creighton down to minus 3.5, and I took the total under 144.5. Part of the reason why I know the total is down from where it was. It's at 138 right now. At DraftKings. I took it under earlier this week at 140.5. I feel very confident that this total is going to stay in the 130s. I like what you're doing in giving yourself a buffer. I just don't think we need that much of a buffer on the total, to be honest with you. So my exact same payday is, again, I took it to 144.5, and I took Creighton minus 3.5, and you're still at the plus 105. So you could go with Brad's, you can go with mine. I feel really confident that this total is not going to get very high. So from there, I think it's just a matter of putting together a spread.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Fade the nerds of Princeton and follow me on this OGP.
Number 3.
All right, roll tide. We already got a selection in the San Diego State-Alabama game, taking the over on the Aztecs, 64.5 team total points. Let's do an OGP now on the other side of the ledger here, and I'm going to go Alabama, and I'm going to take the spread down to minus 2.5, and I'm going to take the total down as well to 129.5, and take the over. Yeah, not the under. If you do all of that, even money, plus 100 at BetMGM. Already laid out the case for San Diego State. Very good offensive team. Top 12 of the nation. EFG defense over the last 30 days, where they are number 11, according to Bart Torvik overall. Alabama in their last 9, number 201 EFG offense. But, they haven't really performed to their capable level offensively, especially Brandon Miller, who seems to be due for like a 25 or greater point explosion. It could come against, of all teams, San Diego State. Alabama, very good offensively, as I outlined. Number 3, EFG defense, getting a second chance opportunity 36.9% of the time, and it's all about that tempo. As I've said, they're going to push the pace in this game. San Diego State, I've watched them probably like 15 times this year. They're comfortable playing a half court. They're comfortable running, which seems really uncharacteristic of a lot of San Diego State teams going back to the Kawhi Leonard days. But this team is a little bit faster tempo than what we historically have seen. So again, Alabama minus 2.5. The over on an alt total of 129.5 plus 100 at BetMGM. Lundy, are you going to roll tide with me on both these legs?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I love this one. I frankly would even take the total higher than that and try to get maybe up closer to plus 110 or 115, to be honest. I think this game is going to be pushing up into the low 140s. So you've given yourself a great buffer. This is a good bankroll builder. I think I would probably get a little bit greedy, though, Brad, and I think I would bump this up to maybe 133, 134. I think they're going to eclipse this total. So I like what you've done. I would actually probably get a little bit greedy and bump that total up.
As you could maybe hear in the background, I got a whiny pup who is demanding that we take Alabama on this wager, and he's also demanding to be let out of the office. So let me go ahead and accommodate my.
Yeah. So if you're watching the video right now, Brad has left. Brad is taking care of.
And I'm back. Kirby the Gambler is freed.
And there you go. Well, I'm Nate the Gambler, and I need to get freed as well. And we'll talk about that in bonus time. But yeah, I wouldn't mind being set free from my cage as well, Brad.
Yeah, cranked to Leonard Skinner and a little free bird. And it's definitely some sweet home Alabama roll tide.
I like that one. Hey, Brad, it is a hashtag Tequila Thursday. Did you know that?
Oh, it is a hashtag Tequila Thursday.
So I was thinking about this. Oh, yeah, baby. A trip to Total Wine is on the docket before we tip off at 6:30 Eastern.
Yeah, it totally is. And we are presented by Suavecito Tequila. Go pick up some Love Juice tonight, Total Wine and more. If you're not familiar with Suavecito, let me give you a little bit of background on exactly who the heck they are. In 2015, Forbes magazine in New York City contacted 10 tequila experts around the country, one in Cali, Texas, Florida, New York, etc. People who know tequila. And they were asked one simple question: what is the best tasting tequila sold in these United States of America? And 1 week later, on the front page of Forbes, is a picture of Suavecito Añejo. Grab some love juice tonight and throw a betting fiesta on this hashtag Tequila Thursday. Get Suavecito at any Total Wine and More store or ask for it where you are. We consider it a favor. Gracias.
Number 2.
All right, numero dos here on the Fade 5 podcast. I'm going to do another SGP. I did not label it as such, but this is a OGP/SGP because you see the 2 legs here on your screen at plus 105 at BetMGM. I'm going to roll with the Miami Hurricanes. I'm going to take that spread up from 7.5 to plus 12.5 against the Houston Cougars. And then I'm going to take the total up, and I'm going to go at 145.5 and slam the under. And again, you get that at low plus money as a result. It's all about guard play in the NCAA tournament, especially this late. And one of the best and most dynamic backcourts in the country belongs to Jim Larrañaga and the Miami Hurricanes, who are, like a category 3 right now on the Saffir-Simpson scale. Oh, there you go, weather nerds. But you look at them offensively, number 119 EFG offense, decent but not great, shooting 50.7% and 36.1% from distance over their last 7 games. They've been somewhat susceptible, though, defensively. Number 262 in EFG defense during that same stretch, allowing 52.6% and also 36.1% from 3. But here is the key to this game. They can play at various speeds, and so can Houston, really. But I think Miami is a very good rebounding team. They generated a lot of second chance opportunities, much like Houston does, which each team does over 32% of the time, and they minimize the turnovers. You look at Miami's turnover rate offensively, only 16.1% over the last 30 days. Why? It's because of those astute ball handlers they have there in the backcourt. Yeah, Houston is number 70 EFG defense. Yes, they're generating a second chance opportunity 37.7% of the time. Yes, they forced turnovers at nearly a 19% clip over their last 9 games, but just number 231 in EFG offense. So box out, Omier and friends. If you do that, you are going to hang with Houston. Heck, you might even spring the upset. It would not floor or shock me at all. So the Hurricanes, who I believe are going to blow through this whole line at plus 12.5, and I got that parlayed with the under on it all total 145.5. Put those two together, bam, plus 105 at BetMGM. Lundy, fade or follow.
Love what you did with the total, and all you need to know is that in their last 8 games, Houston is 2-6 against the spread. Period.
Oh.
End of story. 2-6. They're not good at covering the spread, so you just took the spread up to a number that the Canes may be able to handle. Put all that together. This to me is the OGP that I do not have to have any issues with. You saw I was dicking around with the other ones that you did. I played around a little bit, made me a little bit more comfortable. And after all, it's my money, not yours. So I'm allowed to do that. But this one I like as is because I like the total going to the under, and I like the fact that, look, Houston's been winning, but they're not covering, folks. And remember, as the slogan goes, good teams win, great teams cover. And so Miami may have a chance to do this at plus 12.5. I like this one a lot, man.
Do it for Gino Torretta. Take Miami plus 12.5 and the under 145.5 at plus money.
Number 1.
All right, numero uno here on the Fade 5 podcast. Again, presented by Suavecito Tequila on this hashtag Tequila Thursday. Tip back a glass on this same game parlay as well. And the way I'm going to attack this is Texas on the money line. And I'm going to go with the under 158.5 on that all total. And that's even Steven money, plus 100 at DraftKings. I know where Lundy's head is already at on this. He likes Texas as well against the Xavier Musketeers. X will not mark the spot in this game. Last 9 contests, Xavier exhibiting some decent balance by their low defensive standard, but number just 77 EFG offense. They have the lowest 3-point percentage in the NCAA tournament of teams that are still alive. They're only shooting 31.2% in this postseason from way downtown. Number 87 EFG defense, give it up 48% inside the arc and just 31.9% outside of it. So they really flipped the script from what this team identified as in the regular season, one that was highly efficient offensively, but lowly defensively, showing some more balance. But the three certainly not falling for Sule, Boom, and friends. Meanwhile, I look at Texas, number 130 in EFG offense in their last 9 games, and number 29 in EFG defense are allowing just 29.5% from three-point land and 46.5% from two, in a team that pressures you constantly. They forced a turnover here in their last 9 endeavors, 22.8% of opponent possessions. I like Marcus Carr. And good sir, Jabari Rice, who's really elevated his offensive game and added a nice little 1-2 punch in that backcourt. So again, Texas money line under on this all total 158.5 on this SGP/OGP plus 100 at DraftKings. Lundy, fade or follow.
I have a lot of investment in the Longhorns. I have a lot of, I don't like futures, but I was willing to do futures for the tournament because I didn't have to wait as long, right? It's not like I'm betting at the beginning of football season. I got to wait all the way till February to get my money. No, screw that. I'm like one of those people that made the run on the Silicon Valley Bank. Just give me my money now. I'm not waiting around. Just give me my money. But I could do futures on the tournament, and I have a lot of them on Texas. So I obviously love Texas on the money line. I like what you did here with the over under at the 158.5. So I can definitely play in this particular sandbox. Come on. Hook 'em, boys. I need some money. Folks. And in fact, I don't have futures on them to win it all. I have a number of futures tickets on them to just make the Final Four. So that's what I need coming out of this weekend. All right, we're going. The eyes of Texas are upon you. Come on, I need this, people. I need some damn cash.
Well, I tell you what, if Lundy hits on this, guaranteed he's going to play the bongos naked like Matthew McConaughey. So come on, Longhorns, with that imagery now stamped on your cerebral cortex. Hopefully they'll take care of business. Who else is going to take care of business? Let's find out. It's bonus time. Lundy, what else do you like? We're taping this podcast on a Thursday, so the floor is entirely open to the rest of the sports betting slate on this day.
Yeah, so obviously we were looking ahead to the tournament on Friday, but for those of you that are actually listening on Thursday, let me give you some plays for this evening that you might want to take advantage of. I'm going to have more on the spreadsheet, by the way, in the NHL because there are a total of 12 games on the ice tonight. And I have not had a chance to break them all down yet this morning, but I do have a couple of plays that I want to give you. First and foremost, take a no goal in the first 10 in the Chicago and Washington game. This one being played at the Caps for their home ice. You look at these two teams, both of them sub 50% when it comes to a goal in the first 10. So I'll play the odds on that one. You can get it right now at DraftKings at a plus 130 for there to be no goal in the first 10. I also like a 2-leg money line tonight. The Boston Bruins at home, where they have been dominant. They're dominating everybody. I know they went on a little bit of a losing run, but I expect them to get back at it. Why? Because they're playing the Canadiens, for crying out loud. So Boston should take care of business at home. Add in there one that I'm a little bit nervous about, but I kind of got a good feeling about Pittsburgh, who's on the second night of a back-to-back. They just beat the Avs last night. Son of a bitch, I was in the arena. Good God, did Colorado look like shit last night. But Pittsburgh has to turn around and do a back-to-back by going to Dallas. And so I'm going to take the Stars at home just straight on the money line to beat Sid the Kid and company. So you put Boston and Dallas together on a 2-leg at DK. That one's going to have a payday for you of plus 107. In the Sweet 16 tonight, this is not a bet that I would make, but I am sharing it with everybody so that they're aware. If you like Tennessee and if you believe in Tom Izzo, DraftKings has a 25% boost right now on the Spartans and the Vols just on the money line on a 2-leg parlay. So it takes it up to plus 191. If you like the Vols and you like Michigan State, they're giving you a 25% boost tonight on that just as a straight money line bet. So not bad if you are on Team Izzo. I'm on with Tennessee. I like Tennessee to win. Frankly, I kind of like K-State a little bit better, but if you like Michigan State on the money line, that's a nice little boost that DK is giving you, so I wanted to share that with you. To the association we go. I like this bet by itself. Spencer Dinwiddie over 8.5 assists as he takes on Cleveland. He just had 11 assists against the Cavs on Tuesday night, but in his last 6 games, he's got 11, 11, 7, 11, 16, 11. So 11 is a popular number. If he were playing roulette, I'd be dropping a hundy chip on that one and trying to get the 35-1 payday. So I like that one by itself, but here's a 3-legger for dimes tonight. All right. So I'm taking Dinwiddie at 7 or more. I already told you I like him over 8.5, but I'm going to take Dinwiddie for 7 or more. Give me Josh Giddey to have 5 or more for OKC. He has done this in 4 out of his last 5 games, and he just had 6 against the Clippers on Tuesday night. Last, give me CJ McCollum to have at least 5 dimes as well. He's taking on Charlotte. He has done this in 6 of his last 7 games. So Dinwiddie for 7, Giddey for 5, McCollum for 5. Put all 3 of those together at DK plus 106 as we see those guys hash out some dimes. So again, they're not big and sexy, but it's a nice way to build your bankroll in case you're looking for some plays here on Thursday night. I yield the floor to the gentleman from Illinois.
Well, speaking of a dimwit, who is Dinwiddie, it's apparently me. I'm going to do a little Team Huevos parlay play. If you take all of the featured winners here on Friday night in the Sweet 16, not nearly as juicy as what I featured yesterday, which is plus 929, but Creighton, Alabama, Houston, and Texas on that 4-legger, straight chalk. And I think it is going to reign supreme. I don't think we're going to see any upsets. Friday of the Sweet 16, plus 209 if those teams simply win on this 1, 2, 3, 4, mi amigos, 4-leg Team Huevos money line parlay. Elsewhere in bonus time, I got a bonus SGP in the Gonzaga UCLA game, which honestly is a game I'm looking forward to most on Thursday night. I like the Zags plus 3.5. Remember, they are underdogs in this game against UCLA, and both teams to score under 80.5 points. You do that at BetMGM, it is plus 125, believe it or not, on that little 2-leg parlay. UCLA has not allowed a team to score 81 points the entire year. Baylor is a high watermark at 80 points they allowed. Illinois, number 2, when Illinois was good way back in November/December. They allowed 79 the Illini. Those are the 2 highest marks that the Bruins have yielded to the opposition the entire season. As good as Gonzaga is, or number 1 in the country EFG offense, I think this game is going to be a little bit lower score than some people think because the tempo was going to be slow. UCLA number 244 in that category. And UCLA's defense outstanding. Number 40 in the country in EFG defense, even without Jalen Clark. And with Bona also a question mark. Singleton also a question mark. There's a lot of questions with this team, but what I do not question is Jaime Jaquez, Tiger Campbell, and their ability to defend. So I don't think they're going to allow Gonzaga to go to 81 points. So I kind of like the Zags to win on the money line plus 110. Let's go to the NBA, shall we? I like Brandon Ingram over 5.5 rebounds against the Hornets tonight at plus 125. Yeah, work those shoulders, baby. At DraftKings gets juiced by the juice. You look at Charlotte. In their last 10, 4th most opponent rebounds per game allowed, giving it 46.9. Ingram had 9 boards. The other matchup he faced, Charlotte, this season, that was way back in October. He's only been over once in his last 6. That's why this line is suppressed. But he's averaging close to what the line, well short of the line. He's only averaging 4.3 rebounds per game here in the month of March. Again, this line is at 5.5. I think he gets at least a half dozen boards. That's why it's juicy there at plus 125. And the other one that I like tonight, the player props market, in the NBA, Russell Westbrook, I'm going to take the over 1.5 steals plus blocks against the Oklahoma City Thunder. He just faced the Thunder a couple of days ago and had 3 in total and could match that effort. A guy that's been over this in 4 of his last 9. OKC, their last 10, has allowed the 2nd most opponent blocks per game, though the 5th fewest steals per game. I think it's 1-1. 1 steal, 1 block, and we cash 1 ticket as a result. And Oh, for shits and giggles here, Lundy, I'll give you this last one too. In college basketball in the player props market, not available in all states, but it is here in Illinois. I like Desi Sills of Kansas State to get over 9.5 points against the Sparty Party. And that right now is at even money, plus 100. Sills on the season only taking 15.6% of Kansas State shots, and he's only shooting 21.3% from distance, but he attacks the 10, draws whistles, and gets to the free throw line. In the NCAA tournament, he has hit 16 of 19 free throws. The guy has gone 14, 7, and 12 points here thus far in his last 3 games. The guy has also been over this in 4 of his last 5 games. And Michigan State, as discussed yesterday, in the last 30 days, number 302 in effective field goal percentage defense. So Sills could be that X factor tonight and really standing up as a compliment to Keontae Johnson and Marquise Noel. All right, we are out of time here on the Fade 5 podcast. Drop us a rating and a review, would you kindly? It helps out our show tremendously. Also, Fade or follow us on the Twitter. Lundy and his free spreadsheet picks at Lundy. I do the same damn thing at Noisy Huevos. Enjoy the Sweet 16 action. Until next time, as always, fade or follow. That is up to you.